Hello there, and welcome back to the Sleepy Science channel. Tonight we're wandering into the slow, twilight world of hibernation, the quiet kingdom where time loosens its grip and life whispers instead of roars. Beneath layers of snow, under roots, stone, and sheltering bark, hearts soften to a hush while the earth itself seems to pause and lean into silence. Yet even in that stillness, life is quietly working its miracles. Hibernation is nature's soft-spoken masterpiece of survival, a deliberate surrender, a patient waiting, a confident belief that warmth always returns. Frogs freeze into little statues and later revive. Bears drift through months untouched by hunger or thirst. Tiny mammals slow their hearts to barely a memory of a beat. And as scientists study these miracles, they begin to see possibilities shimmering at the edge of our own future. Imagine astronauts resting safely on long voyages, or fragile organs preserved with time stretched thin, or even the tempo of aging itself slowing to a gentler rhythm. What began as a winter strategy might just become one of humanity's quiet superpowers. If these peaceful explorations speak to you, feel free to like, subscribe, or leave a thought in the comments. It helps others stumble into this cozy corner of the universe, one sleepy wanderer at a time. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Now, dim the lights. Maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum. Let your eyes grow heavy. Let the hush of winter gather around your thoughts like a warm blanket. Let's begin. Frogs, especially the littlewood frog, perform one of nature's most astonishing vanishing acts. As winter arrives, ice creeps through their bodies, stopping the heart completely. Breathing halts, blood freezes, and every visible sign of life slips away. But moments before this deep freeze, the frog's liver floods its body with glucose and urea, creating a natural antifreeze that protects delicate cells from shattering. All winter long, the frog remains frozen stiff, suspended between life and nothingness. Then, when spring finally exhales its first warm breath, the ice melts in perfect order. The heart flickers back to life, the lungs awaken, and soon the frog hops off as if it didn't just spend months as a tiny amphibious ice cube. No human invention can yet mimic this serene dance across the threshold of death. Hibernation also slows aging, not through magic, but through exquisite restraint. Every heartbeat, every spark of metabolism causes tiny bits of wear inside our cells. Oxygen keeps us alive, yet it also produces unstable molecules that slowly damage DNA and proteins. But during hibernation, metabolism drops so low that this internal storm nearly disappears. Cells shift from rushing to repairing, from burning to healing. Waste is cleared more efficiently, oxidation fades, proteins last longer, and even the brain uses the deep rest to sweep out toxins better than it can during ordinary sleep. Animals that hibernate often live longer than their non-hibernating cousins because their bodies age in gentle, deliberate slow motion. Each year, a season of stillness becomes a season of renewal. And then there are the bear's champions of the long, elegant pause. They hibernate for months, yet rise with muscles strong and ready. While humans confined to bed lose strength quickly, bears spend half a year barely moving without wasting away. In their dens, their hearts slow to just a few beats per minute, their breaths soften to almost nothing, yet their muscles stay dense and powerful. Their bodies recycle nitrogen from waste, turning it into new protein that feeds their muscles even without food. Hormones protect their bones from growing brittle. Small tremors ripple through their limbs to keep circulation alive. It is a quiet, brilliant engineering of nature, proving that sometimes stillness is not weakness, but strength conserving itself for spring. As the sun trickles into the bear's den on a radiant spring morning, it's as if the bear hit the snooze button and decided it's time to conquer the world. With a swagger that says, "I just woke up, but nobody can stop me," the bear strides out, rearing to go. Researchers can't help but marvel as they dream about harnessing this miraculous bounce back for humans. Imagine patients recovering from long periods of immobility without the usual muscle atrophy. Talk about a medical coup. Then we have bats, the acrobatic marvels of the night. They're masters of the extreme, flapping their wings at heart rates that would give a sports car engine a run for its money. But when winter rolls in and their buffet of insects dries up, these creatures slip into a deep torpor, as if hitting the ultimate pause button. Picture them hanging in a cave, moments where their hearts cease to beat almost entirely, like a well-trained magician's disappearing act. Only this time, life isn't making a grand re-entry for months. As if that wasn't enough, Arctic ground squirrels take chilling to an art form. They throw a polar party beneath the frosty tundra, letting their body temperatures drop to sub-zero levels. Cuddled underground like hibernating burritos, their bodies become living science experiments, protecting cells as they freeze. Remarkably, no ice forms inside those critters. They have adapted incredible proteins that keep their membranes intact and sugars that act like miniature antifreeze. Talk about a furry ice sculpture ready for a thaw when the sun peeks out. Meanwhile, painted turtles are taking a different spin on winter survival. You'll find them tucked away, fast asleep beneath thick ice layers in North America's frozen ponds. Oxygen? Not needed when you're rocking a metabolism that can virtually take a do not disturb break for months. Their shells are like armor, absorbing acid like sponges while maintaining a chill heart rate of 1 or 2 beats per minute. They're the ultimate couch potatoes, emerging only when conditions are just right, and their snappy recovery proves that life can be resilient when chemistry does its magic. Scientists are wild about torching these amazing adaptations as they work on everything from medical applications to intergalactic travel. With astronauts gearing up for missions far beyond the reach of a midnight snack, hibernation might be the ultimate survival hack. If humans could tap into torpor-like states, they could slumber their way through space voyages like oversized bears in a cozy den, needing just a smattering of resources and becoming less jittery when it comes to radiation exposure. While pondering the potential for sleep mode in humans, the research is booming. It's a wild mix of medical marvels and space-age dreaming, combining the latent abilities of bears, bats, squirrels, and turtles to know when to kick back and chill. These pin-ups of the animal kingdom are living proof that when you don't burn the candle at both ends, you just might survive the winters of life. NASA is on an interstellar mission, one that might just include a VIP hibernating crew on a journey to Mars and beyond. They're playing with the idea of induced hibernation, where astronauts could snooze for months while machines do the heavy lifting. Imagine floating through the cosmos, heart rate slowed, bodies cooled, and all the oxygen use minimized. Like a cozy bear in a den, this dream of survival is about bringing Earth's ingenuity to space exploration. Now, hibernation is an ingenious biological feat. It's like the ultimate reset button, a process where immunity shuts down and then magically restarts without any nasty side effects. Unlike most creatures that must keep their immune systems on high alert, hibernators turn it off entirely. While temperatures drop, immune cells vanish to take a long nap in the organs, preserving energy and sneaking through the winter without any drama or inflammation. When warmth returns, it's like spring cleaning for the immune system. Everything fires back up, ready to take on the world without a hitch. Picture the dormouse, a creature whose name literally means one who sleeps. These furry fellows divide their year into 2 solid halves, a feeding frenzy in summer and a deep snooze in winter. As the weather cools, they burrow into their mossy nests, curling up for 6 months of delightful hibernation. Their heart rates plummet, breathing slows to a whisper, and they blend in with the earth. They're champions of patience, spending stormy winters tucked away only to emerge, revitalized, when spring delights them with aromas of life. Then we have the hummingbird. A few hours of chill could spell calorie doom for these tiny aeronauts. Enter the nightly torpor, a masterful controlled shutdown. With temperatures plummeting, they drop their body heat and conserve energy, all while clinging to a twig like a feathered acrobat. Through the night, their heartbeats ease into a slumber-like rhythm, wrapping themselves in their feathers to keep warm. Just before dawn, they flick the switch back on, transforming from a sleepy blur to a dazzling flash of color. The trick with hibernation is muscle maintenance. It's not couch potato syndrome. You might think that being perfectly still for months would turn muscles to mush, but true hibernators hold onto their strength as if time stands still. Here's where the magic happens. Protein recycling becomes the name of the game. Instead of discarding nitrogen, their bodies repurpose it to create those crucial amino acids, keeping muscles firm and ready for action once wakefulness is restored. What all this suggests is that understanding the fabulous art of hibernation could truly revolutionize human medicine. If we can learn what allows these creatures to rest their immune systems without harm, we might find innovative solutions for organ transplants or dealing with autoimmune diseases. The calm and calculated strategies of these winter warriors could finally teach us how to embrace a more restful, healing process. Who knew that the sleepy secrets of nature might hold the keys to health and survival? What an exciting possibility! As enzymes maintain their steady rhythm in the body, nerves stick together like best friends, while microshivers keep the blood flowing and nutrients cruising around like Uber drivers. Mitochondria get in on the action too, becoming efficiency experts that ensure muscle fibers don't suffer from the dreaded low oxygen or chilly temperatures. Ground squirrels and bears show this endurance, proving that weakness after a long rest isn't a given. It's all in the biological planning, a strategy built on balance rather than constant action. Take the desert toad. For example, these little guys know how to take patience to an art form. They burrow deep when the earth starts to crack and slip into sleep for years, waiting for that sweet sound of rain. Their talents go beyond hibernation as they create a waterproof coat of skin, slow their heartbeat, and draw from fat reserves that can last for ages. With an ability to survive droughts that turn ponds into dust, they are the poster children for ecological patience and resilience. Keep your ears perked for the low rumble of an approaching storm. That's when these toads spring into action. Once the thunder hits, they hop out of their underground havens to fill the new puddles with their eggs in a matter of hours. This speedy reproductive strategy ensures that tadpoles can zoom through development before the sun burns their nursery away. Who knew hibernation could take on a whole new meaning in dry areas? It's like the desert throws a party, and the toads are the main act. In the wild, the brain knows how to go into stealth mode during torpor. Think of it as energy conservation tactics while still keeping an eye out for possible threats. During this sleepy state, brain activity dims down, synapses become like passive spectators, and neurotransmitters whisper among themselves. Yet, while it hushes, some key circuits stay alert, able to catch the scent of predators or detect sudden disturbances, brilliantly balancing sleepiness and vigilance without sacrificing safety. Threats don't stand a chance against this selective awareness. When danger strikes, the body can kick into high gear, reviving essential areas like an intricate machine. Blood flow and temperature restoration happen in a smart sequence, ensuring the animal can engage with its surroundings as fast as lightning, all thanks to some special proteins that protect memory during the quiet phase. It's fascinating how the brain can nearly dim out yet leave a light that can flare up in moments when danger calls. Now, let's put the spotlight on bumblebee queens, who are the lone warriors of winter. Once summer fades and colonies collapse, a newly mated queen buries herself in soil, transforming into a picture of serene hibernation. She hoards her sugars and fats like a squirrel with acorns while sealing her spiracles to keep moisture in talk about an energy-saving champ. While frost settles above, she plays the long game in cozy darkness, staying entirely still until the first hint of spring teases her awake. When the sun sends out its warm invitations, this brave queen emerges, searching for the perfect nest site. She forages solo yet effective, heating her flight muscles with a buzz before laying the foundation of a new colony. Out of her solitary winter dream, an entire city of bees rises, all thanks to her strategic hibernation. It's a risky plan, but when you're the only living thread for the hive's future, it's all about seizing those crucial seasonal transitions. In the cozy den of a hibernating bear, life is a beautiful ballet of energy conservation and nurturing. While Mama Bear lounges in her snug little lair, her nerves are already in high gear, fully attuned to nursing her cubs. Surprisingly, milk production kicks off without the usual craving for snacks. Instead, she cleverly taps into her stash of stored fat, turning it into high-octane calories to keep her little ones fed and growing. It's all about keeping those cubs snug and thriving while she takes a well-deserved hibernation vacation. As weeks roll by in this luxurious state of dormancy, the cubs thrive peacefully. Mom hardly budges, maintaining a peaceful atmosphere conducive for growth. When the den finally sees the light of day, those previously helpless infants have transformed into adorable little bundles of energy, ready to cling and follow her out. This ingenious plan of balancing inactivity with nurturing is like a masterclass in energy budgeting. The mom spends minimal energy on herself while channeling all her resources into those little squishes. Now, let's rocket into the world of space travel. You might be thinking, how does one survive the wilds of space? With radiation buzzing like an annoying fly near your picnic, one solution is to induce a comfy state called torpor, slowing down the body to protect it from harm. Essentially, it's akin to napping through a storm. Research has shown that when bodies cool down, they become better at managing stress, allowing necessary repairs to happen more effectively while dodging radiation leapfrogging through your DNA. The engineers have grand ideas of habitats that will guide astronauts through alternating cycles of snoozing and waking, perfectly timed with solar storms where the risk is peak, keeping crew members as safe as kittens in a basket. Achieving a successful transition from animal models to human protocols means the plan must move like a well-oiled machine. Learning the art of staying still at just the right moments could be key to survival out there among the stars. Getting a bit more cozy, let's chat about the wonders of fat in our furry friends. Not all fat is created the same. You've got your regular white fat that's like a rainy day fund and your superstar brown fat, which can whip out warmth faster than you can say hotcakes. These little fibers are sprightly mitochondria that release energy as heat instead of storing it. Talk about multitasking. Hibernators are savvy in positioning this warm-hearted tissue around vital areas, ensuring that when the time comes to wake up, they're greeted with a warm, fuzzy embrace versus a shockingly cold reality. This ingenious design also comes in handy for those adorable critters born needing a little extra warmth. Picture infants of various mammals cruising through life with their own stash of brown fat, which keeps them toasty and safe during those vulnerable baby hours. The brilliance of evolution at work. It's not all about building one stockpile. It's about having that extra warmth on standby when life demands a little more urgency. Hibernation across our animal kingdom showcases remarkable diversity, with evolution tapping into different themes tirelessly. From plucky frogs and ground squirrels to even insects, we witness the art of dormancy everywhere. Each lineage has unique methods to tackle the wild swings of nature. Nature's toolkit, whether through sugar-based proteins or hormonal mastery, shows just how beneficial it is to hit the snooze button when times are tough, only to jump back into action when the world gets a little brighter. And lastly, we can't leave out the unique case of the fat-tailed dwarf lemurs in Madagascar. These furry primates have a different tactic altogether for surviving the dry season, choosing deep hibernation over migration or hoarding snacks. They feast on fruits until their tails balloon with reserves, then curl up in hollow trees, tucking themselves in for a long nap. It's an endearing and strategic twist on hibernation, showcasing just how diverse survival methods can be, even among our primate friends. Inside the chill of their frozen dens, these incredible creatures exhibit a remarkable ability that seems like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. With heart rates slowing dramatically from over 100 beats per minute to a staggering 6, it's as if they've mastered the art of relaxation to a whole new level. Their breathing can stop for minutes at a time, while their body temperatures start to drop, sometimes mirroring the ambient air around them. For a jaw-dropping 7 months, they remain camouflaged and cozy, living off the energy they've stored up. Every now and then, they lazily shift positions, only to embrace the blissful stillness once again. Move over, common house cats. This is the real king of naps. The way these creatures hibernate has completely flipped the script on what scientists thought mammals could handle, hinting that our own human ancestors might have enjoyed similar powers. It's a funny reminder that chilling out doesn't mean losing consciousness. In fact, during hibernation, pain signals take a vacation as well. As that slow heartbeat kicks in, nerves have a peculiarly festive party where they dull pain signals. What would normally cause agony fades, making severe injuries feel like a harmless tickle in the background. Thanks to hibernation, it seems that nature has provided its own version of anesthesia. Who knew that snoozing could be a pain relief strategy as well? These natural medicine cabinets offer huge promise to the world of healthcare. If humans could tap into that hibernation-like state for pain control, we could revolutionize surgery and trauma care. Imagine a world where people undergo surgery while blissfully unaware of the discomfort. That easy relaxation could redefine the saying, rest and recover, to truly embody its essence. It's about time we recognize the therapeutic powers of a deep, cold sleep. Perhaps we should all be booking those spa day-like hibernation retreats, right? Over in the icy realms of the north, garter snakes display a mesmerizing example of communal survival. When the chill kicks in, these slithery guys don't go solo. They rally together by the hundreds, snuggling into ancient limestone nooks and burrows that keep them safe and warm. Coiling up layer after layer, they create a snaky stack that conserves heat in a shared pocket of air. With their metabolisms on low battery mode, they can stretch a single breath out for what feels like ages. Seriously, these snakes have got the art of conservation nailed down. Come springtime, the snug mass gently awakens, with scales dancing together in a symphony of rustling leaves as they emerge like a fantastical wave. In a world where cooperation is often reserved for the fluffiest mammals, these cold-blooded buddies remind us all of the power of community. It's a brilliant testament to how even the most solitary-seeming creatures rely on connections for survival. As they bask in the warming sun, they transition from tightly bound hibernation partners to active participants in the cycle of life, indicating that thriving with others is nearly as vital as being able to endure the cold. As if the story couldn't get any cooler, meet the certain enzymes that thrive in freezing temps. Some organisms possess specialized enzymes that are like tiny molecular superheroes, capable of functioning at frostbite-inducing levels. These enzymes are uniquely flexible, allowing them to do their jobs regardless of how thickened the surrounding icy cytoplasm gets. Sure, they risk unfolding at higher temperatures, but in the frozen confines of ice and permafrost, they shine like champions. Take fish, for instance, who flaunt cold active enzymes to keep their digestion running smoothly even when it's chilly enough to frost some major gills. The 50 shades of cold don't just invite life to endure, but rather to flourish. As we study the ingenious molecular machinery that outshines rivals in sub-zero temperatures, a whole new realm of industrial processes opens up, all thanks to these enzymes doing their thing. Picture it, utilizing cold-born proteins to design energy-saving, waste-reducing methods, all while the world outside is shivering away. From lively turtles switching to anaerobic metabolism during winter ice traps to enzymes giving life a nutritious boost, there's a thrilling tapestry of resilience woven into the fabric of life in extreme conditions. As winter carpets ponds in a glistening coat of ice, painted turtles dive deep, settling into the muddy bottoms like spa guests getting the perfect mud wrap. Instead of panicking and gasping for air, these clever critters engage their backup plan. They hit the snooze button on their metabolism, adopting a leisurely lifestyle that seemingly defies the dark chill above. Without oxygen, they pull energy from stored sugars, relying on a clever chemical hack to survive. But wait, there's more. This underwater reverie produces lactic acid, which, if allowed to wiggle its way around unchecked, could spell doom for our turtle buddies. Enter the turtle skeleton, a literal lifesaver in bone form. It swoops in to absorb all that nasty acid while releasing calcium carbonate to keep things neutral and calm. So their shells become not just stylish armor but a sophisticated life support system, ensuring they stay chill through the winter months, an impressive evolutionary flip that takes keeping your cool to a whole new level. Meanwhile, deep inside their heads, the pineal gland is busy translating light into a biological calendar. As days shorten, this little gland pumps out melatonin like it's the hottest concert ticket in town, signaling a seasonal shift to prepare for those cozy winter naps. This hormonal buzz aligns the turtles' internal clocks, reprogramming them to slow down their metabolism and adjust their appetites, just like how we might clear out our schedules to binge watch a new series in winter. And it's not just a leisurely snooze, it's a strategic move. Animals that regularly hibernate or enter torpor seem to have discovered the secret to longevity. As metabolism takes a much-needed break, free radicals take a hit, and DNA repair systems work their magic uninterrupted. The body relaxes like a well-oiled machine, and even those pesky telomeres, little caps at the tips of our DNA, age more slowly in these chillier species. Talk about a win-win for life expectancy. Now let's dive into the past. Fossil burrows uncovered by paleontologists in the Karoo Basin reveal that some ancient reptiles mastered the art of hibernation long before modern-day turtles and lizards showed up. These coiled critters, tucked away in their cozy underground lairs, waited patiently through harsh droughts like they were waiting for their pizza delivery. Their skeletons, curled in sleepy postures, paired with traces of ancient soil chemistry, tell us that snoozing was a pretty clever survival tactic even back then. The legacy of hibernation extends far beyond cute turtles and sleepy lizards. It whispers a timeless lesson about the power of stillness in a world that constantly pushes us to race forward. These ancient creatures remind us that while the hustle of life is inevitable, occasionally hitting the pause button can be the secret to longevity and thriving. Turns out that in nature, as well as in our busy lives, sometimes it pays to slow down and just hang out for a while. Hibernation is like nature's secret recipe, a time-honored dance older than your grandma's favorite quilt. Long before mammals strutted their stuff or flowers dared to bloom, living beings were perfecting the art of slowing down. These cold-blooded slumber parties offer a tantalizing glimpse into a future where humans might join the cosmic sleepover, cruising through space in cryogenic chill. Who wouldn't want to snooze their way to distant planets? The trouble is, pulling it off without turning our organs into ice cubes is the real kicker. Scientists have already unleashed a few sleeper time tricks on our furry friends, making rodents snooze in a way that protects them from nasty injuries. But turning these experiments into human snore fests presents a world of wonder and a heap of hurdles. Picture this: space agencies working on high-tech cryo-sleep pods that do all the heavy lifting while we dream of galaxies far, far away. Occasionally, they might nudge us awake for a quick check and imagine trying to fight off grogginess while floating through space. But hold your horses. The cool potential of this technology doesn't just moonwalk through the cosmos. It could revolutionize medicine on Earth, too. Think about it. Patients stabilized for transport, or even placed in hibernation between critical procedures. Suddenly, the line between hibernation and survival blurs, crafting a whole new approach to healthcare. It's a pause that could bridge the gap between life and the universe, while we manage the everyday challenges of our earthly lives. As the Earth warms up and spring rolls in, it's as if the planet breathes a collective sigh, sending waves of life rippling across its surface. From the depths of the frozen ground, frogs emerge from their icy slumber, insects burst into action, and mammals shake off their sleepy haze to greet the new day. It's a natural alarm clock that doesn't just wake creatures, it reanimates entire ecosystems, sending billions of organisms rising in the gentle embrace of the sun. This grand awakening isn't a one-time affair. It's a synchronized spectacle that dances through the seasons. As the spring sun takes its throne in the sky, life unfurls. By the time summer rolls around, even the Arctic gets in on the action, completing a rejuvenating circuit that began at the equator. Just imagine the sheer magnitude of it all, a pulsating rhythm of life that can barely be fathomed, with every heartbeat syncing with the next as the Earth shakes off winter's chill. Take our little prickly pals, the hedgehogs, for example. As fall wraps its arms around nature, these tiny warriors curl into perfect spiky balls, virtually vanishing under piles of leaves. Inside their cozy nests, they hit the snooze button until spring's warm embrace nudges them awake. If you ever thought bears had the monopoly on hibernation, think again. Hedgehogs might just be the ultimate champions of seasonal snoozing. And let's not forget the brilliant biology behind these hibernating marvels. Waste recycling isn't just for compost. Hibernating mammals are masters of efficiency. Instead of letting nitrogen waste turn into a bad hangover, their bodies get clever. Specialized gut microbes work like tiny scientists, breaking down urea and sending nitrogen back into the bloodstream, feeding muscles and fortifying tissues. It's nature's way of ensuring that nothing goes to waste except for the occasional winter's nap, that is. In the realm of nature, even gut bacteria take on new jobs during hibernation, cleverly switching from digesting to recycling nutrients. As the bear enters its slumber, everything realigns, and miraculously, the kidneys clean up the leftovers. When spring knocks on the den's door, the bear emerges, surprisingly untouched by hunger or lethargy, having lost a mere weight of fat. This remarkable system of efficiency leaves engineers scratching their heads while doctors watch in awe. Bears are the ultimate champions of inactivity. They can flop down like fluffy, furry logs for up to 6 months and stroll out with muscles intact. While humans succumb to weakened bones faster than you can say bed rest, bears have honed a remarkable trick. Their bone-dissolving cells are on a coffee break, while the bone-building workers keep things moving along at a leisurely pace. It's a perfect balance, a bone-strengthening ballet that defies the laws of nature. You've got to love a creature that keeps its calcium flowing like clockwork. In hibernation, bear marrow is still churning out fresh blood cells like an overworked factory, and hormones are buzzing around like busy bees, ensuring everything from minerals to nutrients moves efficiently. Scientists are scratching their chins, theorizing that the secrets of bear biology could hold the key to preventing osteoporosis in bedridden humans. For bears, though, it's simply about survival, quietly maintaining their bodies while hunkering down for winter. As time crawls to a near halt in the bear's burrow, it's almost as if time itself is taking a power nap. When their metabolism slows to a whisper, the tiny ticks and tarks of time become a mere blur. For the bear, a day can pass with just a smattering of heartbeats and the softest sigh of breath. While clocks drip into stasis, the boundary between waking and sleeping becomes a hazy dreamland where awareness lingers but doesn't scream for attention. Emerging from their long sleep, bears experience the outside world like someone shaking off a heavy cloak. The dark months spent in cozy hibernation aren't endured, they're folded into one single still moment. Researchers marvel at this phenomenon, labeling it a rare form of suspended consciousness. Some believe biology can hit pause on time, allowing life to stretch and warp until it passes by unnoticed. In the blink of an eye or, perhaps, a heartbeat, they wake to find a world that has morphed dramatically. Even in the frozen grasp of Arctic permafrost, life finds a way. Tiny microbes hunker down in ice for thousands of years, waiting for the moment they are gently thawed and resurrected. Scientists find these creatures, older than many civilizations, stirring back to life as if the ice was just an entertaining intermission. Their vitality springs from biochemical sorcery that shields their DNA and proteins against the frost. Proving life's tenacity even frozen in time, it often emerges unscathed. As hibernation kicks off, a stunning transformation sweeps through a bear's blood chemistry. The bear knows it's time to get crafty. Sugars skyrocket, ensuring cells stay jovial in the cold, while salt levels cleverly readjust to maintain harmony. Proteins do their best impression of acrobats, twisting and turning to fend off clotting. With hemoglobin switching gears, the bear breathes easy, even at a sluggish pulse, while fatty acids keep the blood as smooth as melted butter, allowing the bear to ride out winter like a champion. The bloodstream of some creatures is a marvel of nature. It operates not just as a simple pathway for life, but as a carefully designed system for neostasis, keeping organs alive while operating at a fraction of their usual function. Imagine a scenario where blood transforms effortlessly, reversing its chemical processes when warmth makes a comeback. It's not merely adaptation, it's an elegant metamorphosis that happens flawlessly for decades, defying the odds like a magician pulling off the same trick repeatedly without a hitch. As winter approaches, the extraordinary adaptations become even more fascinating. Certain frogs turn into masters of survival, appearing to freeze solid while their hearts and lungs take an intermission. Ice forms meticulously inside their bodies, but instead of waking up to a sad tale of unfortunate demise, they remain perfectly preserved. Their livers release a sugary concoction that acts as antifreeze, outsmarting the icy onslaught and making sure their vital cells don't end up as frosty snacks for late-night critters. For weeks or even months, these seemingly frozen frogs are in a state of suspended animation, their metabolism hitting the pause button. When the first rays of spring light warm the ground, it's like they've hit the refresh button on life. Ice melts, sugars thin, and before you know it, they're hopping around as if winter was just a minor hiccup. Their cool ability has sparked research into organ preservation, tantalizing ideas of cryonics, and leaving even the most advanced human technology in the dust. What if we could adopt this froggy finesse into human medicine? Controlled torpor might just be the game changer we need. In moments of trauma or cardiac arrest, time is of the essence. Studying hibernators teaches us that by lowering metabolism and chilling out literally, we could pause life long enough for rescue. Researchers are exploring ways to induce this state in humans, using gentle cooling and chemical signals to buy critical time when every second counts. Animal trials show promise, protecting brains and hearts from severe oxygen deprivation. Picture a scenario where emergency rooms transform and critical patients can be stabilized in a metabolic freeze, like saving an image before a critical file crash. Imagine the possibilities. What was once confined to science fiction is now within our reach. If we can perfect controlled torpor safely, it could truly redefine medicine, granting humans the hibernation power of ground squirrels. Now, let's explore the fascinating concept of group torpor. In a dark cave filled with sleepy bats, the magic of shared energy takes over. One bat slows down, and the next follows suit until thousands are hanging choicelessly together, keeping cozy in a ball of warmth. It's like an intricate dance of slumber, conserving energy as they vibe through the cold, harsh months, proving that sometimes stillness can feel like a coordinated masterpiece rather than a random occurrence. Beneath the frost and soil lies a hidden story, nature's cyclical dance of preparation and renewal. As everything seems to rest, the planet is actually gearing up for the grand spectacle of life. Nutrients are gathering, roots are mending, and ecosystems are plotting their resurgence. And when the Earth tilts back towards the sun, it's game on. Frozen surfaces come alive, soil warms, and every nook bursts forth with an explosion of greenery and harmonious song, a grand finale after nature's quiet intermission. Hibernation is an ancient art form, a dance of nature where life takes a pause and gathers strength. Think of it as the world's way of hitting the snooze button. Instead of rushing around, everything takes a moment to kick back and recharge. Spring arrives not as a predictable routine, but like a surprise party. That's when everything comes alive again, reminding us that stillness isn't an enemy of life, but rather its secret source for revival. Meet the echidnas of southern Australia, masters of this cycle. As winter creeps in, these little spiky guys slip into a state called torpor. It's like taking a cozy nap, but with a touch of survival flair. Imagine them curled up, fighting off the cold as their body temp dips and their hearts slow down to a languid rhythm. When a sunny day pops up, they stir and scrounge for ants, then it's back to catnap central. It's a clever energy-saving jig that keeps them on their toes, or rather, their pointy snoots. What's interesting is that these hibernators seem to age slower than their more active buddies, almost like they've discovered the fountain of youth. While they snooze away, their bodies are busy repairing tiny bits of damage that come with the hustle and bustle of daily life. Think of them as the ultimate chill seekers, avoiding the wear and tear of constant activity. Ground squirrels and bats, fellow hibernation aficionados, enjoy years of life, all thanks to mastering the art of slowing down. But hibernation isn't just for the major players. It's a universal rhythm that even parasites can't resist. Just like their hosts, creatures like microscopic worms put on the brakes when the world cools down. They learn the art of patience, delaying feeding and reproduction until warmth is back in their lives. Talk about a complicated relationship. They formed a partnership based on the timeless wisdom of knowing when to wait for better times. When hibernators hit snooze, their hearts pull off a miraculous trick. Instead of going haywire with a rapid fire of beats, they organize themselves to pump more blood with each thud. It's like they're saying, slow and steady wins the race. Their hearts adapt, favoring smooth rhythms and thicker blood that glides without pooling. This clever engineering ensures that their bodies stay nourished, even when they're deep in slumber mode. The incredible cycle of life doesn't stop there. It's all about interdependence in this grand theatre of nature. Every player, whether the bustling echidna or the lurking parasite, is in tune with the rhythms around them. They share a common calendar, one that celebrates patience and the power of stillness. It's a partnership that hinges on the timing when to act, when to retreat, and definitely when to wake up for the party in spring. So, as we ponder the hibernation magic, let's tip our hats to those wise creatures who appreciate the art of pressing pause. They know that life isn't just a sprint, it's also about savoring each moment, even if it means dozing off for a few months. Take a lesson from the echidnas, ground squirrels, and their not-so-cuddly mates sometimes. The best way to embrace life is to let out a big yawn and embrace the beauty in waiting. In the fascinating hustle and bustle of life, our hearts live a rhythm of their own. Picture a heart rate monitor. During tranquil sleep, even the most vibrant hearts soften, morphing into gentle curves that paint a picture of stillness. Then, voila! Warmth strolls back into the scene, and those beats kick into high gear, mimicking the quick tempo of an action-packed day. It's a graceful nod to nature's ability to gracefully switch gears, proving that even our hearts can master the art of quiet. Now, dive deep into the icy realms of the Arctic, where fish glide through sub-zero temperatures like they're on a leisurely swim in the tropics. These remarkable creatures have their secret weapon, natural antifreeze. Their blood is packed with proteins that cling to ice crystals, halting their growth and allowing them to thrive. While most species curl up and freeze in despair, these fish can continue their daily activities and even reproduce, rewriting the survival manual in a world where every degree counts. And get this, scientists are wishing they could bottle up this antifreeze magic. They've been tinkering with these natural proteins, hoping to enhance frozen food, preserve organs, and boost frost resistance in crops. But here's the kicker: despite their best efforts, nothing can replicate the perfect balance found in these icy fish who dance effortlessly through their frigid habitats. They are the chemists of cold survival, turning the harshest of environments into a playground of life. Shifting gears, let's jump into the curious world of hibernation research. Scientists are on a mission to crack the code of suspended animation, with every breakthrough bringing them closer to mastering the art of pausing life. They've been known to cool small mammals into a deep slumber, only to wake them later completely safe and sound. The potential applications are mind-blowing, from stabilizing trauma patients to giving astronauts a means to explore the cosmos without guzzling all their supplies. However, the key challenge lies in the body's reboot. Scientists face the intricate task of warming tissues in the right sequence to maintain that delicate chemistry. But don't fret. Nature has been doing it for ages, and we're just starting to peek behind the curtain of this natural phenomenon. Interestingly, not all hibernators nap through the entire winter. Enter chipmunks and some audacious mice, who rise occasionally to munch on their hidden treasures. Prior to hibernation, they become masterful hoarders, storing seeds and nuts in cleverly crafted underground chambers. During their brief awakenings, they chow down and inspect their stash for any signs of spoilage. Talk about multitasking. And here's where it gets even juicier. Animals in deep torpor seem to have a side effect that lowers cancer growth. During this quiet phase, their biological processes simmer down, bad stuff included. Shocking experiments have indicated that the metabolism halts cancer cells in their tracks, giving healthy cells a chance to hit the reset button. This extraordinary insight could be revolutionary, showcasing the cold as a timeout period, allowing the body to mend itself without any disruption. Who knew hibernation had such profound implications? Imagine a world where doctors could harness the power of hibernation, placing patients into a deep, controlled slumber to give diseases a run for their money. Sounds crazy, right? But in nature, this is already happening. Every winter, a plethora of animals gracefully drift into torpor, resting up like champions. Forget medication. A good nap could be the world's frontline defense against illness, proving that sometimes the best remedy is simply to take a break. As winter melts into spring, life awakens in the underbelly of the earth, and it's not the beeping from your phone that stirs hibernators. Oh no, it's the delightful scent of soil rich and earthy that kicks off the springtime revival. Animals lurking beneath the frost detect those faint chemical signals in the soil, and voila! The pineal gland gets the memo, hormones adjust, and they start buzzing back to life. Who knew the secret to getting up in the morning was a good whiff of fresh dirt? The great wildlife snooze fest might teach us a thing or two about resilience. These creatures demonstrate that strength isn't defined by frantic activity or hard work, but through the wisdom of patience. They hold steady while the world is in transition, conserving energy and trusting the universe to deliver what they need when the time is right. It's like a cosmic game of waiting patiently for the pizza delivery that always arrives right as you start to doubt. What's more, when hibernators finally stretch their limbs and depart their cozy nests, they're not just chasing the first rays of sun. They're responding to the promise of growth and sustenance. Their stillness cultivates balance within ecosystems, proving life can thrive even while resting. They embody the art of knowing that sometimes the best action is no action at all, a philosophy that could work wonders for the stressed humans of today. Now, let's talk about the plucky common poor-will, a bird that's taken hibernation to a whole new level. High up in the North American cliffs, this feathered marvel cools down to match its chilly surroundings and goes into a deep sleep that can last for months. With a heart rate so low, it's practically comatose. It exhibits the ultimate luxury of doing absolutely nothing. Early observers thought its absence meant extinction, but surprise. The poor-will was merely indulging in a long winter's nap. What's fascinating here is that this little bird proves that rest and activity can coexist. Even for creatures built for flight, the wisdom of knowing when to hold still is a vital skill. That said, the poor-will isn't alone. Many hibernators maintain that incredible ability to go without food for months without showing signs of malnutrition. They pull off a miraculous trick that confounds basic biology, gracefully sidestepping the consequences of fasting that would leave most of us feeling like wilted lettuce. In this mad cycle of life, hibernation is a glorious reminder that rest is an option worth considering. For many animals, turning down their metabolic rate is like hitting a reset button. Their bodies enter an extraordinary state where all resources are recycled seamlessly. Protein, vitamins, and minerals remain intact, while fat serves as the main fuel source. Talk about sustainable living. It's a masterclass in conservation that could certainly inspire some innovative thinking in our modern world. As spring tiptoes in, bears, ground squirrels, and bats emerge from hibernation in remarkably good shape, lean but robust, with tissues intact and immune systems ready for action. Their metabolism operates like a perfectly balanced budget, using only the energy it replaces. Scientists are fascinated by these incredible mechanisms, exploring how they could one day assist humans in preserving muscle and organ health during long hospital stays or space missions. Imagine hibernation not as starvation, but as finesse in energy management, a skillful dance of survival. Amphibians show a different, yet equally fascinating, revival process when spring sunlight starts melting the ice that cradled them through winter. Frogs and salamanders don't rush things. They thaw slowly, carefully dodging the shock that could lead to catastrophe. If they thawed too quickly, the sudden rush of water could cause their cells to burst. Instead, they wait gradually, thanks to chemistry, utilizing stored sugars and alcohols that act as natural antifreeze. Their intricate awakening is a remarkable feat of precision and timing between chilling conditions and the spark of life. While our froggy friends gradually thaw, a whole different story unfolds inside hibernators' intestines. During these long months of inactivity, the gut microbiome undergoes a transformation, swapping out bacteria that thrive on constant food for those that survive on internal secretions. While these microbial guests produce fewer digestive acids, they work overtime to prevent infections and maintain gut health. When spring arrives, the food buffet jiggles back to life, triggering a rebirth of digestive-friendly microbes and rebuilding the gut's ecosystem with a flourish. It's a well-timed performance, ensuring that digestion doesn't collapse after a long feast less slumber. Nature's cleverness doesn't stop there. Ever heard of the Antarctic midget? These tiny insects, smaller than a grain of rice, live in one of the harshest environments on the planet. To cope with the freezing temperatures, they remarkably swap much of their body water for a syrupy mixture of sugars and alcohol that acts as a biological antifreeze. This prevents ice from forming within their cells. They remain perfectly frozen, like biological popsicles, until the summer sun thaws their icy surroundings. Their survival is all about timing. Too much warmth or cold can spell disaster. Back in the cozy dens of hibernating bears, you might think it's all a snooze fest, but that couldn't be more wrong. Deep within their winter hideouts, these majestic creatures periodically rouse, stretching and adjusting their positions to keep things lively. Even wrapped in snowy blankets, a bear stirs every few weeks. It raises its body temperature just a tad, flexing muscles and changing posture to ensure proper circulation and stave off pesky pressure injuries. These brief awakenings may last only minutes, yet they play a pivotal role in maintaining muscle tone without dulling the blissful energy conservation. So, what do all these incredible survival strategies have in common? They illustrate the art of endurance and the mastery of timing and transformation. Whether it's the perfectly orchestrated thawing of amphibians or the clever survival tactics of the Antarctic midget, life finds a way to persist despite the odds. And as bears wake from their slumber, stretching and adjusting, with each twitch they write another chapter in this epic story of survival, showcasing nature's quirky yet brilliant mechanics in action. As winter settles in, bears drift into a frosty slumber, their hearts slowly ticking like an ancient clock. Eyes flutter awake briefly, but the midday sun never fully nudges them from their dreams. This peculiar state of near hibernation keeps their tissues ticking and thriving, like a spirited dance held in deep silence. Even as snow blankets the world, life insists on a quiet rhythm, defying the deep freeze that punctuates the season. Now, imagine astronauts taking a page from hibernating bears. High above Earth, those brave space travelers would embrace artificial hibernation, dodging cosmic radiation like seasoned ninjas. Beyond our cozy magnetic shield, radiation storms like to wreak havoc on DNA and cells. Scientists are scheming to induce this slowed-down metabolic state to bring those risks down, kind of like hitting the pause button on potential disaster while floating among the stars. Picture space engineers concocting a celestial timetable where crew members dive into short torpor cycles, waking up just in time to witness solar activity's dramatic peaks. In animal trials, this magical induced torpor has shown it can fend off both radiation and inflammation like a superhero cape. For those long, winding journeys to Mars, this sleeping beauty tactic could make all the difference in returning victorious, not just alive. Meanwhile, deep within the realm of slumber, mammal brains engage in a whimsical dance akin to Zen meditation. Entering torpor, their brainwaves oscillate gently, reminiscent of that blissful dream state when you just forget your to-do list. Parts of the brain related to memories and feelings flicker to life, while the sensory areas of the brain recline back to their lazy corners, all without a hint of energy waste. It's like meditation without the heavy lifting of yoga poses. In their annual pilgrimage, hibernating animals return to their favorite cozy spots year after year. You'd think they'd forget a nice, warm dwelling in the cold darkness of winter, but no. Bears meticulously choose dens with perfect angles to drain meltwater, bats hum a melody of cave acoustics, and turtles navigate using magnetic cues. These homely refuges become their sacred geography, passed down through generations like an old family recipe of warmth and security. The magnificent interplay between memory and environment becomes a life-sustaining dance, as hibernation morphs into a tender act of homecoming. For these creatures, slumber is not simply shutting down, it's a return to a cherished stillness woven within the earth. With each awakening, they embrace a familiar breath that cradles them, a skillful reminder that they have returned once again to their heartthrob of warmth. In this slow-motion scene under the winter sky, hibernation lets time loose its grip. As organisms drop their metabolic rate, the typical rules of life falter and stretch. Cells that would wither within minutes survive for months without a whiff of oxygen. Little chemical reactions that usually hasten aging hit the brakes. It's a symphony of nature's engineering, where heart and mind can hold still, preserving life's flickering flame while holding the telomeres of time at bay. The world of hibernation is a quirky, mind-bending spectacle, showcasing how survival can transform into an intriguing form of temporal manipulation. Scientists have discovered that every heartbeat a creature saves seemingly adds to its longevity, like budgeting unused moments for large-scale splurges later on. In this bizarre spa of rest, the body indulges in a form of immortality, with time feeling less like a relentless march and more like a flexible dance. High in the Australian Alps, tiny marsupials known as pygmy spumes reveal the art of the perfect retreat during blizzards. When the snow starts to fall, these pint-sized wonders dive into rock crevices and burrows, slipping into a deep slumber that brings their temperature down to chilling levels near the ice above. Rather than being menaced by the snow, They embrace it as a protective blanket, keeping them cozy while the world outside rages in wind and frost. With heartbeats slowing to a hush, these resilient creatures rely on their stored body fat to glide through weeks without their favorite snacks, nectar and insects. During brief warm spells, they might awaken just long enough to groom the frost from their whiskers and sip some meltwater. Then, back into deep hibernation they go, disappearing from the world again until the glorious day when spring melts the drifts and revives a whirlwind of color and life. As the alpine flowers blossom, these little ones spring back into action, perfectly attuned to their surroundings, discovering a treasure trove of nectar and buzzing insects. It's not strength but patience that carries them through this icy season. They've mastered the art of timing, like seasoned artists waiting for the exact moment to unveil their masterpiece. Their incredible knack for surviving against the odds highlights the elegance of nature's rhythms. Zooming toward the ancient realm of salt crystals, we find enduring bacteria that have become the ultimate time travelers. These tiny heroes nestle within underground salt beds, where life seemingly takes a snooze for geological ages, thanks to the protective embrace of the salt itself. With almost no movement or nutrients, they hit pause, practically shrinking their metabolism down to the size of a pinhead, awaiting that precious drop of water that could kickstart life once more. In a laboratory setting, researchers have even found ways to coax non-hibernating mammals into this state of suspended animation, using artificial cooling and targeted chemicals. These trailblazing scientists adjust temperatures and activate specific brain regions to lower body temperature and slow heart rates without causing harm. It's like flipping a switch from life mode to timeout, allowing organs to take an extended vacation while they wait for a return to more favorable conditions. Melatonin steps in as the ultimate timekeeper, syncing hibernation with the natural ebb and flow of daylight. As summer wraps up and autumn creeps in, the body turns on the melatonin tap, sending signals that revamp appetite and even change how fat is stored. This hormone, however, isn't just for inducing sleep. It's a calendar etched in darkness, ensuring that creatures know exactly when to sleep and when to rise, reminding them that even in the depths of winter, light and dark hold the keys to survival. At scheduled intervals, warmth and gentle care breathe life back into animals, restoring their activity, memory, and coordination. Amazingly, this isn't just some tall tale. This well-documented protocol highlights the incredible adaptability of mammalian physiology when handled with care. The potential applications are mind-boggling. If these methods can safely transition to larger animals and eventually humans, it could change the game in surgical practices and trauma care. Just think of the possibilities. Parasites showcase a level of genius by aligning their lives with their host's seasonal rhythms to survive. For them, a winter den isn't just a cozy hideaway, it's a bustling ecosystem. Take ticks, for example. They settle into a host's fur, lowering their metabolism until the host stirs, prompting their re-emergence. Similarly, fleas wait in the comfort of nests, only coming to life when vibrations and humidity suggest a host is back. Each perfectly timed relationship is a win-win. For intestinal worms, the strategy is all about moderation. By scaling back on feeding and reproduction when their host is hibernating, they avoid putting too much strain on a vulnerable host. Once nutrients begin flowing again, it's party time. Meanwhile, microscopic protozoa enter cyst forms, putting their lives on hold, ready to spring back to life when conditions improve. The synchronized dance between host and parasite is a delicate balance that sustains both. When hibernators finally rouse from their deep slumber, their entire ecosystem rejoices simultaneously, each species stepping back into action as if choreographed. But nature's timing is not governed by human calendars. Instead, animals rely on air temperature, moisture levels, and other natural signals to know when to wake up or settle down for the season. A late autumn warm spell can grant hibernators extra time to bulk up on fat, while an early cold snap might rush them into dormancy. The factors influencing this timing are a well-composed symphony. Shifts in barometric pressure, humidity changes, and the subtle winds act like a conductor guiding each animal's hibernation preparations. In certain climates, the first heavy snow might flip the sleep switch, while in arid areas, A dry spell could prompt different strategies like estivation, sleeping through heat rather than cold. The key takeaway is flexibility. Desert snails take it up a notch with their sealing strategy to endure those sweltering months without water. When soil turns to dust, they retreat into their self-made sanctuaries, exuding layers of dried mucus and calcium that form a hard seal. Their metabolism slows significantly, almost like a sloth on a chill day. These ingenious snails can survive for months, only breaking their seals when precious rain showers the land, thus emerging to feast before the heat drives them back into dormancy. And let's not forget about bears. As spring arrives, these magnificent creatures emerge with impressive timing as well, often dragging along their fuzzy newborns. The whole cycle of life comes flooding back as the world springs into action. Each species, from the smallest murmuring snail to the grand bear, exemplifies how being attuned to nature's rhythms can lead to survival and rejuvenation. It's a vivid reminder that stillness can sometimes be the ultimate form of resilience. Inside a cozy winter den, a mother bear is living her best, albeit quiet, life with her adorable cubs who have been sucking away for months. The scene is set as she decides to emerge into the daylight, but don't let that fool you, this isn't a random moment. The snow is soft enough for her to traverse, yet her paw prints linger like a breadcrumb trail. Timing is everything. As the early green sprouts emerge, she's ready to fuel her milk supply and introduce her cubs to the great outdoors. Her cubs are no longer the fragile little furballs clinging for dear life. They can crawl around, exploring their snowy kingdom. This coordinated schedule isn't just luck, it's a hormonal game plan sewn into the very fabric of their being. Mama bear has been holding off on implantation until the perfect moment when she's stuffed with enough fat to support gestation and nursing. Birth syncs perfectly with nature's calendar, and bam! The family appears as if summoned by the sun. Now, think SCI-5 for a moment. Cryogenic preservation is mankind's attempt to leap across centuries of time. Hibernation shows us how life can hit the pause button, while cryopreservation is on the quest to freeze it solid. But here's the kicker: ice can wreak havoc on cells, turning them into tiny sculptures of destruction. That's where little miracle agents come in to protect the water and gently influence the freezing process. Researchers have mastered the art of preserving embryos and small tissues, with dreams that someday whole bodies can be chilled into sweet slumber while waiting for a better time to wake up. The ethical dilemmas surrounding this freeze fest are as massive as a polar bear. But the science? Well, that's straightforward. If we can simply pause life without shattering it, think of the adventures across time and space that become possible. Hibernation hints at this miracle. Cryonics is just trying to voice it out loud. The tiniest heartbeats belong to the masters of survival, those life-savvy creatures who understand the art of slowed-down living. For instance, take the hummingbird that's a living jet engine, flapping its wings at record speed. When night falls, it drops to a whisper of a pulse to save precious energy. And bats. They can hang upside down for hours, breathing like they're on a secret mission. Then you've got ground squirrels casually turning down their heartbeat to just a few pulses per minute during the winter. Each of these animals shows us that survival doesn't only come from being the fastest. Sometimes it's about being the best at waiting it out. Information packs a punch when you consider the Arctic ground squirrel strategy. This creature flirts with freezing temperatures like nobody's business, plunging into near-frozen states every few weeks. How do they do it? They surrender to the cold with finesse, allowing their body temperature to dip below water's freezing point while keeping the ice at bay in their cells. Just when you think they might be out for the count, they revive themselves with some strategic shivering every few weeks. Finally, as spring sunlight nudges the earth awake, our little friend emerges from this slumber as if stepping out of a dream. It's almost like hitting the reset button, proving that winter's chill can mimic death but also, wondrously, initiate rebirth. Hibernation may very well have inspired tales of resurrection throughout history, showing us that perhaps, in the grand cycle of life, every end is merely a chance for a thrilling new beginning. In the mystical realm of nature's cycles, our ancestors puzzled over the mysterious comings and goings of certain creatures. They watched as snakes slithered away, bears settled down, and frogs vanished each winter, only to re-emerge when spring graced the landscape. It seemed like a theatrical performance of death and resurrection. These animals transformed into symbols of rebirth woven into ancient tales, captivating the imaginations of people yearning for explanations about life's rhythms. These early storytellers linked these creatures with deities of death and renewal, framing hibernation as a cosmic mini-drama. The notion of creatures slipping into a deep sleep and later awakening sparked vibrant tales of rebirth in various cultures. Archaeological treasures hint at rituals and cave art dedicated to honoring this profound mystery, cementing a universal moonlit dance of life and loss that echoed through the ages, giving hope to those pondering their place within the natural world. But let's bring this drama back to reality. The science behind these marvelous transformations is simpler than anyone might expect. Animals pause life in a cozy hibernation, heartbeats slow, breaths become whispers, and their vibrant energy retracts like blooming flowers at dusk. The artistry of hibernation teaches us that endings can indeed lead to new beginnings, allowing life to rest quietly until it's ready to take center stage again, bursting forth like an encore after a magnificent performance. Speaking of marvelous, enter the rotifer, those tiny heroes of survival. When drought knocks on their door, these microscopic wonders can transform themselves into tiny beads, enduring the harshest conditions. They hit the snooze button on life, drying up almost completely, halting all metabolic activity. Time takes a backseat as they patiently await the return of water, showing us that hibernation isn't just about cold, it can be a mesmerizing stillness, like a timeless pause in nature's grand opera. But life in dormancy isn't without its challenges. When the icy grip of winter descends, hibernating animals need special tricks up their sleeves. Many of them have evolved antifreeze proteins, which act like little heroes against ice crystals that threaten to wreak havoc on their fragile cellular structures. These proteins prevent ice from spreading and causing havoc, allowing these resilient creatures to brave frozen temperatures as if they were wrapped in warm blankets amid the chill of winter's approach. As these sleep-loving critters finally awaken, they tango in perfect harmony with the blooming plants and buzzing pollinators around them. The timing is crucial, an elaborate coordination that's been fine-tuned over millions of years. One tiny misstep, like an early thaw or a late frost, could send ripples through ecosystems. The waking of bees, bats, and birds synchronizes impeccably with spring's debut, showcasing a vibrant rhythm only nature can compose. Embodied within hibernation is a larger orchestral vision. It's about individual survival, yes, but it also nourishes the groundwork of entire ecosystems. The reverberations of these restful periods ripple through forests and fields as they herald the counts of food webs, fostering life anew. So, here's to hibernation, a whimsical pause that celebrates the intricate and interwoven tapestry of existence, allowing the magical return of life's beautiful symphony with each changing season. When sleepers awaken in sync with nature's rhythm, they become part of a larger dance, revitalizing the earth. Brown fat, that sneaky little tissue nestled around our organs, acts like a personal furnace. Unlike those usual fat layers that hoard energy, brown fat burns it up, releasing warmth instead. Picture it, as a hibernator stirs from slumber, hormones kick in, setting the bloodstream ablaze with heat that travels straight to the very heart and brain. It's a cozy awakening. In the blink of an eye, bodies heat up, breaths quicken, and the sleepy realm starts to fade. Even human infants rely on this nifty brown fat to keep them toasty before they learn how to shiver like pros. For these hibernators, it's a life or death matter. This internal spark, a lingering ember, marks the true revival. Awakening doesn't kick off with deep thoughts. Oh no, it ignites with the fire smoldering powerfully beneath the skin. Now, let's not forget about the futuristic twist: cryogenic technology. The dream of extending life has scientists buzzing with excitement. Hibernation has schooled us on slowing life down safely, and now cryogenics wants to push that envelope. By freezing tissues in protective conditions, experts aim for the big leagues, preserving everything from organs to whole bodies for potential future wake-ups. The trick: keeping ice crystals from ruining precious cellular structures. Who knew science could be such a delicate balance? Taking cues from some amazing critters, like frogs and fish that weather the freeze, researchers are whipping up cool cryoprotectants to keep cells intact in a glass-like state. The advancements are mind-boggling. Right now, we can store human organs and blood for months, all thanks to clever freezing methods. Imagine being able to halt biological aging and hit the restart button without skipping a beat. It's a dream with both magical possibilities and intense conversations about ethics. Diving into the icy terrains of Antarctica, we uncover tiny miracles. Nematodes lying frozen for over 50 years came back to life. Talk about the ultimate power nap. Locked in ice, their metabolism went AWOL while protective sugars kept their cellular structures intact. Once thawed and given some moisture, off they went, feeding and frolicking as if they never skipped a beat. These microscopic wonders teach us that dormant life exists even amidst freezing desolation. And guess what? The body of a hibernator can actually chill down to the ambient temperature safely. As they sink into deep torpor, their internal thermostat loosens its grip, allowing the body temperature to argue with the surrounding cold. Think about it. A bat can lower its body heat to match the chilly cave stones. This energy-saving tactic is a masterclass in survival, showcasing molecular wizardry to keep everything functioning smoothly at low temperatures. As they feast on the warming air and conditions improve, bursts of warmth from that lively brown fat kick in, gradually nudging their temperatures back up. So, these clever animals seamlessly sway between energetic liveliness and tranquil stillness. It's an elegant performance in nature's orchestra, showcasing one simple lesson. Life is not just about the hustle. It's also about mastering the art of waiting patiently for that warmth to return and the dance to continue. Survival isn't just about muscling through tough times. It's about playing the long game and blending into the environment. Think of hibernation and estivation as nature's personal spa days. Hibernation is how some creatures weather the winter's chill, while estivation helps them cope with the sweltering summer heat. Frogs, snails, and insects have it down to an art, slipping into a dry sleep like it's a cashmere blanket, conserving every drop of moisture and slowing their metabolism to a snail's pace. They truly know how to embrace stillness for survival. You might be picturing these creatures snoozing soundly through winter and summer alike, but they aren't just lazy, oh no. These little critters are remarkably adaptable, toggling between hibernation and estivation like a seasoned DJ switches up the tracks. When push comes to shove and the climate shifts, their amazing biochemistry kicks in to help them conserve energy. They're the ultimate survivalists, knowing when to fade into the background and let the world do its thing, just chilling until it's their time to shine once more. Then there are the legendary killifish embryos. These tiny fish play an incredible waiting game as they pause growth until the rainy season rehydrates their home. Picture this. Their habitats are like flash parties that pop up after a rainstorm, bursting with life before disappearing under the baking sun. The adult killifish rush through life, growing, mating, and kicking the bucket in a matter of weeks. Meanwhile, their embryos are like the ultimate chillers, halting their development and going motionless, yet remaining perfectly preserved for as long as needed. When the heavens open again, the wait is rewarded as these tiny wonders sense the moisture and burst to life, like flowers blooming after a spring shower. Scientists have discovered that these exceptionally clever embryos enter a hibernation-like state. It's like they've discovered the secret to immortality, pausing the clock on life to master the art of waiting. They remind us that sometimes, to keep going, you need to take a breather, embracing the beauty of stillness until the timing is just right. Now, let's take a detour from the animal kingdom to the realm of human healthcare. Inspired by nature's hibernators, scientists are hoping to apply this brilliance to save lives during major surgeries. Think about it. Doctors face a daunting challenge when blood flow is limited during operations, especially on delicate organs. But if they could tap into the molecular pathways that hibernating animals use to keep their tissues intact, it could be a game changer. Ground squirrels and bears, trust me, have the secret sauce for lowering inflammation and preventing cell death while in their near-still states. Imagine a world where controlled torpor is induced safely in humans, allowing surgeons to have extra time to fix complex injuries without risking precious tissues. The steps are already being taken with cooling techniques in critical procedures, inching us closer to this extraordinary concept. As we stroll down this exciting path, who knows? It could lead us to breakthroughs in not only emergency care but also space travel. Imagine astronauts entering hibernation mode for long missions. The possibilities are endless. Let's not forget that our early human ancestors might have dabbled in shallow hibernation, especially during the icy winters. Archaeological findings suggest that prehistoric humans occasionally hit the pause button, entering low metabolic states during tough times. With bones showing seasonal growth interruptions similar to hibernators, it sparks the imagination. Could those early hominids huddle together, turning into cozy burritos of warmth and survival, relying on stored fat through food shortages? The debate continues, but this could point to a latent ability we possess that our modern lifestyles might have dulled down. Hibernation may be a hidden gem in our biology, a remnant from the icy past when our ancestors had to tough it out through brutal winters. Imagine if we could tap into that ancient survival trick. By mastering the art of hibernation on a cellular level, we could slow down our metabolism, effectively giving bodies the power to withstand extreme conditions. If we can figure that out, who knows? Maybe winter vacations could become a thing of the past. When animals enter hibernation, it's like flipping a switch. Their metabolism slows to a crawl, and oxygen use plummets to a fraction of what it is normally. It's a bit like binge watching your favorite series while lounging on the couch. Lots of stillness. What's truly remarkable is that their organs stay in peak condition. Cells adapt, calling on survival metabolism to keep things ticking while avoiding the toxic buildup that usually comes with low oxygen levels. It's not magic, it's just science at its best. Studies on adorable hibernators like hamsters and majestic bears reveal that their hearts and brains remain pristine, defying conditions that usually wreak havoc on vulnerable tissues. Imagine the day when we can harness this incredible ability to revamp medical practices for heart attacks or strokes. Learning from hibernators might give us the tools to extend survival windows in critical care, breathing new life into the field of medicine. Bears aren't just the cuddly creatures we see in documentaries. They hold a place of honor in folklore as symbols of rebirth. All cultures tell stories of bears emerging from their dens, embodying winter's end and nature's triumph over adversity. In Norse mythology, they are sacred to the goddess of fertility. In Japan, they're awakening signals of fruitful harvest. These tales spring from a real or for a creature that seemingly dies and rises again each year, as if to say, survival can be as much about stillness as it is about struggle. There's a whole community aspect to hibernation that's downright heartwarming. Certain critters, like ground squirrels and bats, band together during the winter months, creating shared dens that remain a comfy haven against the chill. By snuggling up close, they keep each other warm and foster a microclimate that defies the frosty world outside. Their collective heat generates a cozy environment that brings new meaning to the phrase teamwork makes the dream work, or, in this case, the winter survival. Lowering body temperature may just be the ultimate superhero move for human tissues faced with trauma. Cooling the body slows down those pesky chemical processes that lead to cellular injury. This principle is already utilized in therapeutic hypothermia to minimize brain damage after cardiac arrest. If scientists can learn to trigger deeper metabolic suppression effectively, it could revolutionize how we handle surgeries or even manage astronauts during space travel. It's like putting your body on pause when the world gets too chaotic. So there you have it. From hibernating bears to communal dens, nature has crafted some outrageous survival strategies that are ripe for exploration. By peeking into this hidden realm of resilience, we might just be able to uncover ways to save lives in the most unexpected situations. It's a wild world out there, and who knows what secrets lie within it, waiting for us to discover, just like spring waiting for its moment to blossom. In the grand game of survival, animals have perfected the art of slowness, packing away fat in strategic layers that double as insulation and energy reserves. Take hibernating bears and ground squirrels, for instance. Before winter rolls in, they feast like there's no tomorrow, storing calories that will fuel them for months. This fat not only warms them up, it transforms into energy and heat, so while they're snoozing, they're also subtly engineering their own sustenance. As animals ease into their extended naps, they're not completely out of the loop. Frogs and salamanders have a sixth sense, literally. They can feel the vibrations of melting snow or shifting ice long before the balmy spring air hits their skin. Thanks to sensitive nerve endings, these critters know when it's time to wake up and get moving. It's as if they have an internal calendar synced to Mother Nature's rhythm, ready to hop to life right when spring arrives. Not every hibernation episode drags on for months. Enter the delightful world of micro-hibernation, where hummingbirds and certain mice indulge in quick nap sessions that last only hours. This brief but mighty pause dramatically cuts their metabolism, allowing their bodies to repair and rejuvenate. Research suggests that even a few hours of induced torpor can speed up recovery from stress and inflammation. Who knew that a simple timeout could do wonders for both body and mind? This phenomenon isn't just limited to furry friends. Brine shrimp take time out to a whole new level by going dormant for decades. Picture this: when their habitat dries out, female shrimp whip up protective cysts that keep their embryos safe and sound. They transform their inner essence, slowing their metabolism to a crawl, allowing them to endure the harshest of conditions. Then, like a magical revival, they rehydrate and hatch when water returns, showing us that life can truly defy the ticking clock. The roots of hibernation reach back to times when food was elusive, not the frosty winters we think of today. Early species likely developed this energy-saving strategy during long droughts, allowing them to survive without food for extended periods. Fossil records and research show that what started as a method to weather famine eventually evolved into a survival tactic against the chills of winter. They say necessity is the mother of invention, and these early hibernators definitely took that lesson to heart. So, what does all this mean for us humans? As science digs deeper into these captivating adaptations, we might just discover a gold mine of potential for our own lives. Controlled pauses in metabolism could be the key to healing various traumas, expanding our lifespan, or even keeping astronauts cheerful on long missions. Turns out, nature's chill pill could soon become the ultimate secret weapon in our quest for health and longevity. Ultimately, these tales of survival remind us that sometimes, the key to thriving in a fast-paced world is to slow it down. Whether it's the hibernating bear, the sensitive amphibian, or the resilient brine shrimp, nature teaches us that renewal often resides in stillness. Each moment of pause, each breath of calm, has the potential to rejuvenate the spirit, embodying the reminder that nature knows best when it comes to striking a balance between action and quietude. Lowering metabolism is a nifty trick nature has up its sleeve, allowing life to hit the pause button during tough times. As the climate shifted, this biological magic adapted to seasonal changes, particularly hunger. The thrilling twist. Many modern creatures hibernate not because it's winter, but because their belly grumbles. So, while we bundle up and sip hot cocoa, nature's critters are learning the art of conserving energy, showing us that dormancy is about enduring scarcity, not just enduring snow. Now, think about the prospect of interplanetary travel. Buckle up, because crossing the cosmic expanse takes eons, and keeping astronauts awake and munching all that time is straight up absurd. Enter hibernation, the savvy solution that lets us borrow from nature. By cooling bodies and slowing down metabolism, astronauts could snooze on their way to distant worlds while barely munching on snacks. What's next, you ask? Well, cozy torpor chambers with high-tech gadgets monitoring health stats will keep those space travelers comfy, slowly waking them for snack breaks amidst their prolonged slumber. But wait, there's more. Hibernation isn't just for the stars. It could hold the key to unlocking human longevity on our very own planet. Research shows hibernating critters age at a leisurely pace. Their DNA winks at rapid repair, inflammation takes a timeout, and oxidative stress takes a vacation. These savvy sleepers outlive their wide-awake cousins, living vibrant and healthy lives. Scientists are on the hunt for the genes and enzymes activated during torpor that could reveal aging secrets for humans. Who knew sleeping could turn into a full-on science project? Imagine mimicking that hibernation vibe without needing a winter coat. If medicine could channel those natural restorative properties, we might very well extend the human experience. Picture taking downtime to replenish, where vitality is nurtured through profound stillness. Think of it as an unexpected adventure in slow living, with the potential to redefine aging. Maybe the secret to a longer life lies in the art of chilling out and healing from the inside out, proving that sometimes less really is more. Nature has her showstopper examples hidden in icy realms, where life defies the odds. Beneath the glacier, microorganisms dance through time, appearing frozen but far from lifeless. Imagine tiny microbes existing for thousands of years in a state of suspended animation. They divide so slowly that their generations might surpass centuries. These incredible organisms have crafted an efficiency model that astounds the mind, consuming just enough resources to weather the storm while waiting for better times to roll in. These diminutive champions endure not by being the fastest in the race, but by mastering the fine art of patience and restraint. Their survival logic: endurance thrives on knowing when to hold back. As conditions improve and the sun returns, they spring back to life with gusto, picking up right where they left off, as if no time had passed at all. How's that for a comeback story? And let's not forget the miraculous microbes hidden within the permafrost. Scientists have brought back to life ancient organisms that snoozed for tens of thousands of years. These little ancient wonders are time travelers, preserving genes and DNA intact with their glacier-dwelling magic. Their secret? Slowing each reaction to a crawl, nurturing themselves molecule by molecule. This timeless lesson teaches us that life endures even in the coldest, darkest reaches of existence, a reminder that true strength lies in resilience and unwavering patience. When the ice thaws, it's like waking sleeping giants. These ancient microbes, some bearing genetic blueprints from the dawn of life itself, stretch their little legs and bounce back into action as if they just took a long snooze. These microbial marvels act as time capsules, showcasing Earth's history and evolution like a Netflix documentary on life's early episodes. Each microscopic creature holds a key to our planet's legendary past, reminding us that the ice, rather than a tomb, is a treasure trove of forgotten stories. Meanwhile, in the high-tech labs, engineers and biologists are busy prepping for the ultimate cosmic couch potato experience, human hibernation. As ambitious space missions toward Mars loom large on the horizon, scientists are crafting torpor chambers to safely induce this cozy state of sleepiness. Picture this: astronauts gently cooled, metabolic regulators buzzing, and every heartbeat measured like a performance review. It's all about conserving oxygen and food, while saying thanks, but no thanks to radiation. The trials are already in full swing with our furry friends. Researchers have shown that animals can endure the frosty embrace of extended low temperatures, bouncing back like they've just taken the most refreshing nap. The next challenge? Figuring out how to whip up this science surprise for humans while ensuring they can wake up with a snazzy breakfast and ready to explore the cosmos. This could revolutionize space travel. It's less about being busy and more about perfecting the art of chilling out. While humans dream of Mars, life on Earth shows its own artistic wisdom when winter sweeps in. The world might seem frozen, but each ecosystem is alive and well underneath that blanket of snow. Trees reduce their respiration rates, roots swap nutrients, and insects play hide and seek in snug soil chambers. Down in the ponds, fish lounge at the bottom, as if they were in a luxury spa retreat, soaking in the cozy, stable temperatures. This collective slowing down is nature's way of ensuring everyone survives. Talk about teamwork. As the seasons change, the harmony of waking life is orchestrated by rhythms honed over millions of years. When spring rolls around, everything comes alive as if following a script. Sleep, stasis, and survival converge in a dance of life that's both precise and vital. Across the vast tree of life, nature wields a mathematical magic. Sleep rejuvenates the mind, while torpor and hibernation protect the body and soul. Together, they create a meticulous balance, ensuring survival isn't just about what you do, but also what you don't do. Interestingly, even organisms without brains get in on this action. They have their own hidden rhythms, entering dormancy to withstand stress like champions. The line between states of activity and stillness is more like a fluid wave than a barrier. In a world shaken by chaos, the universal law emerges. Life thrives not just on movement but also on a dynamic dance of rest. It's a revelation rest isn't a weakness, it's a smart design for life. For hibernators, life is a whisper rather than a shout. Inside their frozen forms, processes grind on at a snail's pace, yet life is enduring. The cells gently hum along, protecting their integrity, signaling through the silence. To an observer, a hibernator might seem lifeless, but within, there's a delicate symphony of molecules orchestrating a quiet miracle. When the warmth of spring arrives, they spring back to life, as if emerging from a delightful slumber, recharged and ready to conquer the world. Hibernation surprises with its revelation. Existence isn't tethered to chaos, speed, or constant sound. It flourishes in the silent persistence of life's intricate dance. With every nap, every restful pause, we are reminded that true vitality lies within balance, within the secrets of quiet endurance. Life may sometimes seem to pause, yet it's merely taking a breather, preparing to unleash its vibrant energy anew. After all, every great story deserves a little intermission. In the realm of survival, stillness dances a fine line with life itself, especially evident in the sleepy world of hibernating creatures. Imagine this, a bear snoozing through winter, blissfully unaware of any impending medical emergencies. When things go south for humans, like a sudden cardiac arrest, it's not just the injury but oxygen deprivation that wreaks havoc. In mere minutes, cells starve and self-destruct, which is utterly disastrous. Hibernators have the upper hand, though, swinging into a low-energy state where oxygen becomes appreciated, not essential. These amazing hibernating critters can outlast their oxygen drama for months. What's their secret sauce? They possess the superhero ability to shift their metabolism down to a crawl, meaning their cells barely whisper for oxygen. They even whip up special protective proteins that keep swelling, inflammation, and toxic goop at bay during their oxygen starvation adventures. Researchers are now putting on their detective hats to unravel these adaptations, hoping to morph human medical treatments. Imagine a world where a cool-down and metabolic miracle transform emergency care like rebooting a frozen computer. Now, let's hop over to our froggy friends, the wood frogs, who have taken freezing solid to a whole new level. North American winters might sound frigid, but these little guys embrace the frost by turning into popsicles. Their hearts take a vacation, and blood flow halts all part of their grand freeze party. But wait, they don't just freeze. Before going full iced tea, they load up on glucose and urea, crafting a natural antifreeze that thaws the possibility of cellular chaos. When spring cracks through, they thaw out, blood flowing as if they just napped, ready to leap back to life. This froggy freeze-thaw magic is flipping the script on biopreservation and cryonics. Scientists are pulling out their metaphorical magnifying glasses to decode these frogs' incredible survival skills, with hopes of preserving human organs for transplants or even extending lifespans. Just think about it. What seemed like Hollywood wizardry can become a reality with these tiny hibernators leading the charge. Bears are not just about epic naps, they've turned hibernation into a fancy biochemical buffet. Yep, during their long slumbers, these furry giants don't need a fridge, they work miracles. They can recycle nitrogen from waste into shiny new proteins. Talk about sustainability. While everyone else is wasting away during a fast, bears are busy patching up their muscle mass and staying in top shape. You could call them the green machines of their ecosystem, teaching us that even waste can be retrofitted into nourishment if biology plays its cards right. While bears and frogs have their naps down to a science, some creatures aren't hitting snooze during winter. Nope. They've got business to attend to. Certain small mammals, like hedgehogs and ground squirrels, rise from their beauty rest for critical winter chores, such as snacking and mating. Even frogs and salamanders spring into action during icy months to lay eggs in icy ponds, ensuring their offspring hatch just in time for the spring feast. It's a juggling act of nature, where hormones and temperature changes are their backstage directors, making life happen when the odds are stacked. In this icy dance of life, animals have mastered the art of timing. From preserving life in a frosty embrace to miraculous biological recycling, hibernation reveals the beauty of balance. Next time you see a bear snoozing or a frog frozen in time, remember they hold vital clues to survival that go way beyond their chilly slumbers. It's nature's way of turning the mundane into extraordinary, with winter as the ultimate backdrop for evolution's finest performances. Hibernation isn't just a long nap, it's a full-blown orchestra of physiological symphonies playing in the depths of winter. While animals curl up in cozy slumber, their bodies enter a state where even the heartbeat morphs into something extraordinary. Imagine the bear, whose heart comes to a crawl, dropping from 50 beats per minute to fewer than 10. As if taking a winter sabbatical, this rest mode allows the body to conserve energy while ensuring that each precious beat still carries life through an intricate dance of specialized proteins. And it's not just teddy bears enjoying the downtime. Smaller mammals nearly shut their hearts off completely. They're the true champions of energy-saving techniques, springing to life only when the temperature gives a little jiggle. This remarkable ability protects vital organs while preserving energy levels beyond human comprehension. Scientists regard these adaptable cardiac rhythms as a treasure trove, opening avenues for advances in treating heart conditions by mimicking nature's approach to the ultimate power nap. Spring isn't a mere happenstance, it's a dramatic reveal after the long winter slumber. When sunbeams start teasing the frost, the hibernators shake off their slumber, not only for personal benefit, but to reinvigorate entire ecosystems. Picture bears, like nature's gardeners, scattering seeds through their droppings. Meanwhile, bees buzz about, pollinating flowers as frogs gobble up insects, re-establishing balance like seasoned performers returning to the stage after intermission. As the hibernators return, they act as catalysts in a larger concert of life. Microorganisms, the unsung heroes of decomposition, wake and start breaking down organic matter, feeding new growth with their recycling magic. Suddenly, the once silent forests transform. Every chirp, flutter, and rustle creates a symphony that resonates through the underbrush. The world, drenched in winter's quietude, bursts forth with energy, illustrating the beauty of life's rhythmic resurgence. Yet, one might wonder, how can this synchronized spectacle happen without a hitch? The answer lies in the art of patience and the pressure cooker effect of winter's lull. This deep freeze creates a build-up, much like a tightly wound spring, ready to unleash the explosion of life each spring. The hibernation phase sets the stage for extraordinary productivity as dormant creatures stir, aerate the soil, and distribute nutrients, paving the route for new plant life to flourish. In the big picture, hibernation exemplifies how life smartly manages energy, echoing principles of physics that invite us to ponder human endurance. After all, energy can't just vanish, it transforms. Animals chilling out in their metabolic caves are not just conserving energy, it's the groundwork for maintaining cellular integrity. This fascinating interplay with entropy hints that higher efficiency could redefine our own survival strategies in extreme settings. Imagine if we could harness the secret of microbial sleep states and safely lower our metabolic rates. The potential for human capability shifts into an exciting arena, blurring the lines between biological and physical realms. Who knows? With the right research, we might just become the ultimate survivalists, ready to tackle hostile environments with the finesse of a bear snoozing through blizzards, all thanks to the elegance of hibernation. In the grand dance of the universe, hibernation emerges as a spectacular pas de deux between biology and physics. It's like nature's own secret sauce for surviving those chillingly tough times. Just think about it. While life appears to hit the snooze button, it's actually playing an epic game of hide and seek against scarcity and stress. From the frosty tundras to oceans that swallow light, hibernation could very well be the cosmic survival hack, ensuring life never fully fades but merely hits pause. In this cosmic snooze fest, creatures across Earth, from cuddly bears to sleepy bacteria, adopt their own unique styles of hibernation. Imagine alien beings snoozing away on distant planets, too. They're probably dreaming of the day a cosmic ray wakes them from their slumber. Stars get in on this act as well, taking their own breaks between glowing displays. It's as if the universe itself recognizes the wisdom in rest and renewal, reminding us that sometimes the quietest moments bear the most profound significance. Every season of silence has a story. Think of it as nature's way of saying, "Get ready." Under all that snow and frost lies a rich tapestry of life, patiently waiting for the right cues to spring back into action. Those dormant seeds and sleepy insects aren't just resting, they're preserving ancestral memories encoded in their very being. The moment warmth nudges them awake, they bloom, burst, and rejoin the symphony of life, a floral encore to the grand performance of existence. Beneath the icy blanket of winter, it's easy to overlook the buzz of life. Yet, if you take a closer look, you'll find a bustling underground economy. Seeds are wrapped snugly in cozy coats, bark shelters hundreds of micro-hibernators, and even microbes keep the chemistry alive in unfrozen pockets. While the surface may seem serene, there's a whole world down below, one that carefully banks energy, waiting for that glorious moment when spring arrives like the proverbial good fairy. Then comes the magical thaw. With the snow melting, life bursts forth almost as if it were rehearsed to perfection. Pollinators awaken just in time to dance among the blooming flowers, while amphibians leap from their winter hideouts, eager to snack on fresh insect larvae. Like a well-orchestrated symphony, ecosystems seamlessly knit together, reminding us that silence isn't the end. It's actually an invitation for a dynamic revival filled with color and life. Hibernation serves a crucial purpose beyond just helping individuals survive. It's like nature's military strategy. During those sleepy months, populations of creatures wind down, causing a ripple effect through ecosystems. Soil microbe shifts, fruiting pauses, and energy accumulation ensure balance. The delicate equilibrium prevents chaos, a comforting thought when you realize that without hibernation, there would be no food, no prey, and no predators. Ultimately, the unassuming hush of hibernation is a vital heartbeat for our planet, orchestrating the cycles of life. As the world nudges awake from its slumber, energy rushes back into motion, fueling everything from migration to the arrival of new life. So, let's celebrate the art of rest, the magic of this collective breath that sustains the fragile balance of our ever-turning world. As winter dusts off its frosty coat, nature takes a deep breath and prepares to shake off the slumber of hibernation. Think about those little critters that decided to hit the snooze button for 3 months. While the world outside seems frozen, beneath the surface, it's a different story. Life quietly gathers its energy, gearing up for a grand reawakening as the sun shines a bit brighter and the days get longer. Every heartbeat that slowed in the cold now sinks back to the upbeat rhythm of springtime. Think of it as nature's very own version of stretching before a big workout. It's amazing how every creature that stirs from its cozy den carries proof that life never really stopped. It just took a well-deserved nap. It's like that moment when you wake up feeling like $1,000,000, ready to conquer the day. Every yawn and stretch tells a story of resilience and strength hiding beneath the surface. And isn't that the real kicker about hibernation? It teaches us that rest isn't the end of the line, but a crucial pit stop. You know, much like when you wait for your favorite roller coaster to get going again after a brief pause. That quiet moment is actually the universe's way of reminding us that taking time to recharge is not a sign of failure, but a wise choice embedded into the fabric of life itself. Visualize that hush that blankets the world just before dawn. It's like nature's version of silence before the big reveal, as the air fills with the sweet symphony of bird songs. It's a reminder that slowing down can be just as energizing as a full-speed sprint. Tonight, as you nestle into your own cozy zone, let your breath find its own rhythm in sync with the pulse of the earth. Feel that stillness wrap around you like a favorite blanket while the chaotic noise of the day fades to a whisper. Let your thoughts settle like the winter soil, patiently awaiting its moment to thaw and spring back to life. Because beneath that wintry facade, life is gathering its courage too. Just like those resilient little buds ready to burst forth, there's a spark inside you waiting to ignite. Deep down, amongst the daily hustle and bustle, there's a part of you that's still dreaming, still hoping, and still waiting for the right moment to bloom again. Much like nature, you have your own rhythm, your own timing, and your own journey. So, as you close your eyes to the world for the night, remember, somewhere under the snow, tiny hearts are waking, and the same magic lies within you, nestled warmly until it's time to shine. Good night, sleep tight, and let yourself drift into the melodies of your dreams. You've earned it. With every inhale and exhale, embrace the promise of renewal, knowing that when morning comes, so too will a dazzling new day, full of endless possibilities and a fresh start.